This is part 2 of how to replace a igniter in a Kenmore oven. So I'm in here now where my Kenmore range is, and I have turned off the gas. You can see that green knob down there. I've unplugged it from the wall. And I've taken the what they call the warmer drawer off. There it is over there. That was a real bear to get off, but I did get it off. And I'm going to have to access the wires from down there. I've already loosened them. Let me put it on pause while I get down here. Okay, so I'm laying down here where my, and I've loosened some of these wires already. I unplugged this one back here. You just have to push in on that knob right there and then wiggle it and pull it out. And you can see my two wires coming down from my igniter. They're coming down from inside the oven. And one of them goes over there to this connector. I think it's this one here. If I wiggle it, the bottom one, you can see the bottom one moving. So the other one comes from the connector and goes to the back connection on that gas valve. And I've already loosened it. The top wire for this thing here comes over and goes right here, and connects to the front, in addition to another wire. That white wire you see back there with the black connector on it comes up and goes in to that front connector also. So I've loosened those up. I'm going to take them off now. And then I'm going to take the igniter out of the oven. So let me work on that. I'm going to put it on pause. Okay, so I got that wire loose by pushing on this tab right here and pulled that loose. And here's the wire that I said had the little black connector on it, covered with a black covering. And this is the double one that went to the front post on that gas valve. And you can see the one back there that goes to the back. So this wire comes down out of the oven, is connected to the igniter. And that other one back there with the gray thing on it that comes down from the top of from the oven is disconnected. So now I wished I could take this oven door off. They say it comes off if you open it to the 1/4 point, which is right there, and then lift up on it. And it's supposed to just come right off the hinges, but I can't get it off. I lift the whole stove up off of the floor trying to pull it off. It won't come off. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. Maybe it's just, the stove is like 20 some odd years old, so maybe it's just really, really stuck on there. So I'm going to have to work with the oven door attached. Not that big a deal, but I got to take this screw out, and I got to take that screw out. And once I have those out, then this whole burner tube should lift up and I can bring those wires through that opening back there. And here's the igniter that I'm going to replace. So I'm going to put it on pause, take those two screws out and see if I can lift that out of there. And I'll put it on pause. Okay, I got those two little screws out. So now I should be able to lift this up There it comes. Okay. The wire's kind of hung up on something. I may have to go back down. That's why I'd like to have this door off. Oh yeah, it's wrapped around this. Okay, back up. Hung up again. Here it comes. Okay. Not that bad. So now I just have to take that screw off right there, and I can take that igniter off and splice it to the new one. I'm going to put it on pause and go in the other room. Okay, so I had the burner tube and old igniter in my hand. I took it to a table, a work table, and I didn't show it on camera, but I cut the two wires that, well, I removed the igniter from the burner tube, the old igniter. Then I cut the two wires that come off of the old igniter, leaving myself enough room that I could wire nut the old connectors from the old igniter to the two wires coming off of the new igniter. And after I had them wire nutted, and I should add, the new igniter that I bought off of eBay came with two high temperature ceramic wire nuts, so I didn't have to buy any. I just used those two to make the splice, mounted the new igniter to the burner tube, and I took it back to the stove and dropped the wires down through the opening and connected the burner tube back up to the stove, and that's where I'm going to resume the video. So I hooked those wires back up like they're supposed to. That one on the bottom of the gas valve back there, that is white with a black connector. Hooked that up first and then hooked up the blue one. I had taken the blue one off so I could make it easier to get to the one with the black connector. Then I hooked up the ones going up to the top of the gas valve. You can see my wire nuts back there. Had to wire nut the new with ceramic wire nuts, high temperature, that came with the new igniter. And hook this thing over here that goes into the sidewall back there on the back. That one right back there I'm pointing at. Put the gray temperature protector things on the wire connectors up on the top of the gas valve. Of course, I had to put that gas valve back inside here and put the screw there in the back. Put this screw here in the front. Turned the gas on back there in the back and plugged it in. Set the time. So I guess I can plug that all the way in now. I just put it temporarily on there. Turn the gas valve on. Push the bake button. It defaults to 350. And we'll see that igniter start to warm up here in just a couple of seconds. Because I've already tried this. Just thought I'd just go ahead and show that it does work. I'm going to shut the oven door just a little bit. And here in a little bit I'll be putting that it just fired up. So it used to take 5 to 6 to 7 minutes for that to fire up. But now it fires up in less than a minute, about 30, anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds. And you can see the igniter back there, nice, bright, white, hot. And it's working great. I ran it through one whole heat cycle. I let it, the preheat light go off and the oven light go off, of course, with the door shut. And then I opened the door until the oven light came back on. And when the oven light comes on, then the igniter lights up again. And it fired up in about 20 seconds, 20 to 25 seconds, and heated up to 350 and pretty fast. So call this a done job, fixed putting a new igniter on. Okay, one of the hardest parts of replacing that igniter is getting this, what they call a warmer drawer, out of my Kenmore oven. And they got these instructions here. If I can get it to focus, you see that this one here says right hand guide, RH, right hand guide. And it says to put a screwdriver in there and to push this lever down so that this tab right here will clear that piece of plastic right there. So that lever has to come down so that that tab will clear this piece of plastic right there. And why they did not make that lever stick out further like they did on the left-hand side. So if I come on down here, notice that this says left-hand guide. And then it says to pull up with your finger, and they show a lever coming out here. It also has a groove in it, or a tab. That tab has got to clear this piece of plastic that on the left-hand side is on the bottom. So you got to lift up, and it would have been a heck of a lot easier if they had put that lever, like they show here, over on the right-hand side, instead of making you use a screwdriver, which is just really stupid. I'm not kidding you. Getting this drawer out is a pain in the rear end. There's another video on YouTube where the guy also has a Kenmore oven, and his is a newer model than mine, but it has a lever on the left-hand side and a lever on the right-hand side. And that's the way, I guess they finally got smart and did it that way, because probably a lot of people complained about this screwdriver method, which is just really hard to do for one person. I got the drawer out by pushing this thing down and holding it down with a screwdriver and managing to stick a screwdriver in there while I held it down and then pushed down with that screwdriver. But while I was holding it down, I couldn't reach over to the other side and lift that other one up. I had to get my wife to come and lift that other one up. This one here, the left-hand side, she lifted it up while I sat there with a screwdriver pushing this one down, and then we both pulled the drawer out. But it was really hard. I'm going to go try to take a video and see if I can actually show you on a video how to do this. So I'm going to be using this screwdriver kit that I got, and these screwdrivers right here. This one is the biggest one, which they say is a 9/64. And then I'm going to use the other one, which is the 1/8. And let me pause it. Okay, so here's my warmer drawer on my Kenmore oven. And I'm going to see if I can show you how to get this thing out in case you have the same one that I have. I think I finally came up with a method. So I put a light there. So if I push it in, that's how it goes in. It comes out and there's a stop. So right there it hit the stop. It won't come out any further than that. And that's that little tab I was showing you on the instruction book. So if I take this smaller screwdriver, the 1/8 one, and I push this down, okay, so now I've got it. You can see I'm pushing it down. Now I'm going to take the bigger one and I'm going to put it inside here. We should see it. There it is. You see it coming in there. So now I can, I don't know if I've got it down far enough to, it just went back up. So if I push down really hard, I'm pushing it down. Now what I got to do is go to the other side and lift up on that tab. I'm lifting up on it. I'm going to bring them. Okay, so you can see that this side has cleared and the other side should have cleared also. And here it is. It's coming out. Okay. So that looked easy, but it took me a long time to figure out how to do it, to make it look easy. The first time I struggled and struggled. I had to get my wife to help me. But that's the way I do it. And it's on the video, which will help me the next time I have to change out the igniter. And I'll watch that video and hopefully I'll have just as easy a time as I did just then getting that drawer out. Because you have to get the drawer out in order to work on that igniter. I'm going to stop the video.